With the main focal point of CSGO investing currently being on the major and the operation as well, it's kinda left the rest of CSGO items, cases, order operation skins, stuff like that, all in the dark. And one of the golden rules of investing is to pay attention to the stuff that not everyone is talking about. So once you get a hold of it and everyone starts talking about it, you can actually make some good money. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about why now might be a great time to buy CSGO skins. So as always, be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you are subscribed, and comment your Steam username and have your trade link on there somewhere. I'll send a few of you guys some leftover stickers I've got in my inventory from the unboxing I did a while ago. And of course, final thing before we get into it, be sure to check out my sponsor, Skinport. Skinport is a CSGO skin marketplace where you can find items up to 30% off. And it's really easy to use as well. If I just look up a basic skin like the AK Redline, you can get a field tested one for only $10 on Skinport, while on the Steam market they're going to cost you $13. And not to mention, there's no extra fees. It's always going to be the number you see on the buying page. Plus, if you're looking to cash out, you can also sell CSGO skins on Skinport with only a 6% selling fee on skins over $1,000 and 12% on skins under $1,000. So be sure to check them out with the link in the description today. But for now, let's get right into the video. So let's start with why I'm making this video. A tweet from xmercy, a CSGO investor who I'm sure you guys know if you use Twitter, pointed out that he uses factory new Dragon Lore sales on Buff as a metric to evaluate how the CSGO economy is going. The past months they were going down with decrease in volume, but this week that trend started to slightly revert, still low volume but higher compared to past months. He also mentions that a good percentage of the volume went to Op Hydras, of course from the new Mirage collection. He ends it by saying it doesn't mean anything really relevant yet, but it could be a shy start to a reversal in the CSGO economy after months of a quote-unquote bear market, or whatever you guys want to call it. Just a market where it's been pretty difficult for buyers, especially from Broken Fang, to make any money. Now, a couple of things to point out. First of all, it's just the beginning of this, but nothing is set in stone yet. We possibly might not see the market quote-unquote explode or have any really major notable moves for a while, especially since we've got the major going on with sticker capsule sales probably in a few weeks, along with the operations still going on of course throughout that whole time as well, and a few months longer. So we may not see any huge moves right away, but something we have to keep in mind is that a lot of skins, specifically from Operation Broken Fang, are at incredibly low prices. In fact, the same prices that we saw during Operation Broken Fang lows. And even with the major going on, the new operation going on, and the dips we saw with both of those events, it doesn't look like the market wants these skins to dip below these levels. And why would it? Why would people want to sell these at lower levels? This should be the lowest price these skins hit. Why would investors or just players with these skins from the operation want to sell at lower levels than they were at during the operation? It just doesn't make sense, and there's got to be a point where they kind of need to flatten out and hopefully start to increase again in a few weeks, and I feel like we're at that point. I don't see them dropping below the lowest lows of the operation, and I think with D-Lores starting to increase in price again alongside all the other order skins that took a tumble, Battlescar D-Lore specifically rising over just 10% in the past month, and Fades, a skin I talk about really often because their absurd supply even stagnating at their current price, with the vast majority of investors and players looking at these new skins. I think with the vast majority of the scene looking at all these new things we've got going on, remembering fundamentals of these older operation skins such as how they're limited. Even if we go back to Shattered Web where we didn't have supply issues because of how the new operations are formatted, and it spread out all the supply of all the skins in the collections compared to new operations like Riptide and Broken Fang, with a shop that lets players completely overinflate the supply, which is a large part of the issue of why the prices are so wonky this time around. But with Shattered Web, we didn't have those issues, so those 3 collections from Shattered Web could be great to look at as well, especially around this time, along with just older skins in general. Once again, stuff that has just gone under people's radars. So overall, with the older skins, whether operation skins or just random collection skins, I think they're very much something to keep your eyes on for the time being, and we may start seeing some big moves once we're getting closer to the end of the operation, and of course, once the major ends and the sale is over. As for the new operation skins, I covered in one of my more recent videos, I'll show it on screen, I don't remember the name of it, why I think supply issues are just making a lot of these skins not necessarily worthless, especially in the long term, but very difficult to invest in, especially if you want to get in early. And I very much so recommend staying away from these new skins for the time being, especially since we have souvenir packages with the exact same skins in them, on top of the issues we have with Broken Fang and Riptide this time around. Once again, just too much supply. It's a very safe decision to sit this out for the time being and see how low these skins can get in price, because much like the Op Fade, much like the entirety of Broken Fang, there's just too many that exist, and it's impossible for demand to keep up with that, especially with a lot of the higher tier, whether multi-hundred or well over $1,000 skins, and there's just thousands upon thousands of them. It's not possible for demand to keep up. So once again, just keep looking at some of the older stuff that is under a lot of people's radars right now, as we've got a lot going on. It's always good to be looking at the stuff that is kind of under the rug that not a lot of people are paying attention to, because if you think it's good fundamentally, it most likely will be in the long term, and of course, you would rather be buying on the dip than when everybody's talking about it. So final closing notes, as I've always got to say, this is just my own opinion based on my 5+ years spent playing this game. Investing is always going to have risk with it, so don't think any of this is a guarantee of profit or anything like that. It's just all based on past market trends, how I think the market's going to perform in the future, and just basing everything on supply and how it's looked in the past. But just being patient is the best advice I can give. The CSGO market has had pretty big drops at pretty much all times, but it's very easy to come back from these drops a lot of the time. Plus, you've got some cool skins to hold you off in the meantime while you're waiting for the best time to sell. So it's not like it's all that bad. So besides all that, I think that does wrap it up for this video. So as always, if you guys did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment with your Steam name as well if you do want to participate in that giveaway. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.